Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on OMG Craft, and today I am in Bedrock Edition. Not sure if you can tell, but this is the Bedrock Edition of the game. I've been playing a lot more on the Bedrock Edition of Minecraft, and I have a few things. I have a few opinions that I have to let you guys know about, and that is what is missing from the Bedrock Edition of the game. I have traditionally played on Java Edition my whole Minecraft career. I mean, I've jumped on Bedrock every once in a while. But through the transition from Bedrock to Java and back and forth, I have noticed a few things. So here is a list of things that I wish that Bedrock Edition had. Now, this is not an exhaustive list. This is not like literally everything that Bedrock Edition is missing from Java Edition. These are really just my personal opinions. Like, what has to be here? Like, to be honest, I am like ready to make the switch. I would be fine going from Java Edition to Bedrock Edition. I don't know about permanently, but maybe like as the main edition that I play if these few features were fixed. So let's start off. Number one, this is, as a content creator, huge, maybe not to everybody else, but there is no resolution setting in the game. So you go over here to video. This is normally where you would find like 1920 by 1080, or what's the other one? Something by 720, or 12 something by 720. There is no way to set a perfect resolution where there is on Java Edition. I have up the Java Edition launcher right here. You go over to installations, choose one, and there you go. That is your resolution setting over here. You set it before you launch the game, but excuse me, little Minecraft over here, Bedrock Edition, where is that feature? Even if I use like some weird like way to launch the game at a specific resolution, the window, so like there's like, you know, the top bar, the sides have pixels. It's like basically impossible to get it at the exact perfect resolution. I have to just guess. I hate it. Next thing that literally this is probably the bane of why, this is the main point on why I really hate the Bedrock Edition of the game, and that happens to do with chat. Now, I understand why this chat might make sense on a console or on a phone, but this chat is just ridiculously frustrating on Windows 10 Edition. And as a creator, I'm going to record on my computer. Like, that's not going to change at all. This chat is atrocious. First off, if I start typing, lots of times I have like a set way of doing things, right? You can bring up chat by hitting T, right? Slash, so that starts a command, or enter, right? So that's true for both editions. But if I start off by typing /game mode, which I do all the time, a lot of times the chat is like needs to load for a half second, and it will not get what I'm typing quick enough. And so it is like literally one of the most annoying things ever, is that it won't load fast enough. Also, it takes up the entire screen, which on Java Edition is just like one little bar. So I hate that. I also hate that it's up in the corner. I just wish that there was a way that I could like toggle Java Edition style chat. I want it to be not take up the whole screen. I want it to also, like, there's like all sorts of really random stuff. So if I type all this stuff out and I hit Control A, it will not select everything. I cannot select all text at once. And sometimes it kind of does. Like, I do Control A and then I hit delete. It'll delete everything like it was selected, but it doesn't show me that it's selected, which leaves me just guessing, like, am I doing stuff correct? Like, Control A is how you select all text, you know? That sort of stuff. Also, let's say that I do something like locate, I don't know, mineshaft, okay? it tells me the coordinates. Oh, that's great. I love that. Look, it's right here in my chat. Then I do slash TP. That thing is gone. I can't find the coordinates anymore. It gets rid of the last message to show you all of the autocomplete stuff. Can't find those coordinates anymore. Hope I remember them. No, obviously I didn't. There's no way. I literally have to sit there and go, okay, 736, okay, slash TP, 736, and then I just like literally just have to remember it, and then I don't know what the next one was, so I hit enter, so I can just go back here and read, okay, so I need negative 112. I hate that. Absolutely hate that. Also, on Java Edition, you can click chat. There's tell raw like in chat, so I could click this. What? That seems like something that every edition should want, especially if you are on a device that has a touch screen. Why can you click the chat with your finger? Click it. Allow clickable chat. I don't understand. I'm really getting into like hardcore rant mode right now. I don't understand why these features aren't implemented. The other thing that I feel like is associated with chat, because it's all to deal with text, cannot stand the search box in this edition of Minecraft. Same issue with Control A. I hit Control A. Does it look like it's selected? I don't know. I hit backspace. It did work, but it doesn't show me that it's actually selecting any text at all. If I hold down Shift, will it? No, so it won't even do that. If I delete, so it's working. It's just not rendering that it's working, which is super duper annoying. The other thing is, let's say that I search for pumpkin, right? Okay, great. I got my pumpkins. All happy with that. Let me close the chat. Oh yeah, I also need some sand, or I guess I would need snow. So I open it up. Pumpkin's still there. I don't need that. I do not need the chat to stay. I don't need the search to be persistent. Okay, I've done my search. Go away. So now what do I have to do? I have to delete pumpkin and search for snow. Okay, great. I got my snow. I'm so happy about that. Go back into freaking, it's still there. I hate that. I really cannot believe that has been developed in to keep the chat, I keep saying chat, to keep the search persistent. No, I don't want that. If I leave the inventory, I want a new thing, okay? Also, in Java Edition, if you open your inventory and you're on the search thing, you can immediately start typing. And that is not true for some reason. I can't type and immediately start searching. Why do I have to go up here? Okay, click inside the box and then search for the new thing that I want. I really hate that. Another thing that drives me crazy is this is a constant thing that I do all the time is I search for, let's say, stone, right? And then I'm like, okay, this is the one that I want. And what I do in Java Edition is I hit the key, the number key associated with the slot down below, because you can do that. If I hit 1, 2, 3, it'll go to slot 1, 2, or 3 in my hotbar down there. So over here, I hover over it, I hit 1, and it would normally transfer to the first spot. But here's how it always works, okay? I'm in here, I'm gonna look for cobble. And then I go, okay, that's it. All right, I don't want infest. I want cobblestone. I hit 1. It adds a 1 to the chat. No, I don't, or to the chat, to the search. I keep saying that. I don't want that. No, I don't want that. I want it to go to the #1 slot right here, right there. That's where I want it. And it won't work. It won't work in either way. That's just not a thing that exists. Like even if I had a chest, you know, I can't hit 1 and it goes to the right spot, which is super annoying. But first, you need to develop that feature, which is like you hit 1, it goes to where it is. Like, especially if I'm in my own inventory and I have this up here and I hit 1, it won't go, you know, to the right slot. That needs to be developed. And number 2, the search needs to not accidentally, you know, not need to type that into the search results, because that's not what I want at all. Another thing, we're sticking to creative stuff and creative inventory things. There is no way to clear my inventory, which is really, really annoying. That's just not a thing. Also, like, I just, like, I need a way to clear everything that I have at once. On the Java Edition, here, let me actually jump back over to the Java Edition. we're here on Java Edition. Hope the frame rate's okay, because I think it's loading in the world. But here are some of the things I'm talking about, right? I hit my inventory, I'm immediately in the search. I didn't have to click up into that thing, and I can search for stone or whatever. You know, I have to spell it correctly, but there you go. And it works amazingly. I want this in my first slot. I hit the number 1, and it immediately goes there. Does it change the search? No. Here's the other thing that is like, amazing, is after I have selected something and moved it to my hotbar, it basically knows I'm probably gonna wanna search for something else. And it selects everything in the search area, and I can just start typing again. So if I want a pumpkin, there we go. Move this into slot number 2. It has selected everything, and I can just start typing again, and I can get whatever I want. That is just like, oh my god, it's like butter. It's like amazing. I wish that this feature was in Bedrock Edition. And the next feature is this right here, destroy item. This is a way that you can drag stuff over and destroy a single item. But if you hold down shift and you click it, it clears your entire inventory, no matter what you had in your inventory. If you were wearing stuff, if you have a whole bunch of blocks, in your inventory, it'll clear everything off of the player, and you start fresh if you hold down shift and click that button. That button does not exist in the Bedrock version of the game. And one more feature I'm going to cover while I'm over here is that in both versions of the game, you can use the pick block key. So I love this, is if you're looking at something and you want that block, you can hit the pick block key. On this version, on Java Edition, I have that set to my middle mouse button. Over here on the Bedrock Edition, same situation. I can just hit this key, and I will get whatever I'm looking at in my inventory in my hand. This is just an amazing feature, especially if you're a creative builder. And you can assign this in either version, except the difference is, over here on the Java edition of the game, if you use the pick block key in your inventory, not in the game, but in your inventory, you get a stack of that item immediately in your hand. And that feature does not exist inside of the Bedrock version of the game. Moving on away from the creative inventory, I've covered a lot of stuff right there, and moving on to commands. So one thing that I love to do in either version of the game is when I'm trying to build something very large, I use the fill command. So over here on Java Edition, I start to type out fill, and I can hit tab. And then I can hit tab 3 times, and it'll give me the coordinates of the block that I'm looking at. I hit enter, move to another location, look at a different block. I hit enter so that it's in the chat history and that I can save it without without needing to type it again. I hit the up key to get back to my old command, and then I hit tab 3 more times to get the new location, and then I can type whatever I want, and then that fills that area with the block that I want. Amazing. Over here on the Bedrock version of the game, here is my issue. I start to type out the fill command. That works out normally. But now I want the 3 coordinates of the block that I'm looking at. Luckily, I can still get there, but the method of doing it is like totally different. So I need to fill the first coordinate. So I can hit tab between relative or the coordinate I'm looking at. Then I have to hit space, then tab twice, then space, then tab twice, then space. Remember, over on Java Edition, it was tab, 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 tab. Here it is tab, tab, space, tab, tab, space, tab, tab, space. And then I can hit enter, and I can move from one location to another and do the whole thing again. It is just really, really annoying that those 2 methods are just like different, completely different. They should have parity. And that there are so many button clicks on the Bedrock edition of the game. There's been a lot of effort put into making the game the same when it comes to a lot of the game features. So making sure that the animals and the world generation and everything all match up between the 2 games. I wish that there would be some effort put in parity between the command structure, and especially when it comes to summoning animals and things like that, because I can summon a lot of things that I cannot summon in Java Edition. I can summon a lot of things that I cannot summon over on the Bedrock edition of the game. And just like normal stuff is just like I can't get like baby versions, variants. There's all sorts of like trapped horses. Like, I mean, there's just all these different things that are like really, really, really hard to summon in the Bedrock version of the game that is just super easy in the Java edition of the game. Okay, we are back on the Java version, and I'm going to show you a feature that I use basically every time that I record, and that is the mode switcher. Here on Java, you can hold down F3 and click F4, and you can switch between modes. This is basically like an alt tab for your game modes, where you can tab between, although you're doing F3 and F4, you can tab between the modes. And I do this all the time. I want to go into spectator mode, I quickly hit F3, F4 to get over there. And then I click it again to get back into the creative version of the game. This is the coolest, nicest, best feature for creators I can imagine. It is so nice, and it doesn't exist on the Bedrock version of the game. I mean, F3, the F3 menu itself doesn't exist. What's funny though is there's a lot of F function keys that work. F5 is a key that works. F5 is the way to go into third person view, which it's like, there it is. Hello. It works just fine. So I wish that they could implement that into the F3, F4 tab between the different versions of creative survival and whatnot. Because an adventure, I mean, I guess adventure. Here's the thing. This is also on my list. There is no spectator mode in the Bedrock version of the game. So if I go to game mode, you can see adventure, creative, default, survival. Default and survival, I assume, are the same thing. There is no spectator mode, which is annoying, especially when I want to go and search for something that I'm covering in a video. I'm trying to look for an amethyst geode. I'm trying to look for treasure chests. I'm trying to look for shipwrecks. You know, who knows? I'm just trying to look at the caves. I can't cover that stuff on Bedrock Edition. It's impossible for me to make videos about that type of stuff on the Bedrock Edition of the game because I have no spectator mode. I've seen, I covered this in a different video, I've seen some of the development videos, and they have a development style of spectator mode, but it's like not the full spectator mode that we have over here, or that we have on the Java edition of the game. By the way, one tiny little pet peeve, I hate whatever this is. What is this? I hate that all the different things are like minimized. No, I want to immediately click a thing and get it into my inventory, and it makes searching through these menus literally impossible. Also, just make all the menus the same, okay? Follow one of them. Either Java Edition needs to follow Bedrock, or Bedrock Edition needs to follow Java Edition. What is this 4-tab situation up here? Because over here on Java Edition, we got the 4 tabs up top, but we got 5 tabs at the bottom too, okay? We got tabs all over the place. And we also have this one, which no one ever uses to save hotbars. But you got your search. Figure it out, folks. And I don't want no minimized amount of blocks. Like, if I want a sword, I'm gonna want to immediately click the sword that I want. I don't want to click the wooden sword to open up all the swords to get me to the sword that I want. No, absolutely not. Give it to me all at once. Make them the same. Why is this a problem? Okay, so now we're gonna move on to things that, so we've kind of done chat and search, inventory, like creative inventory. Now I've covered some command type things. I kind of went back to creative inventory. And now let's go into survival things that are missing or changed, or stuff that you find while you're doing the game that is annoying. And number one is putting things in your offhand. I use this feature all the time on the Java edition of the game. Specifically, I use this for torches. Where the heck are my torches? Over here in decorative blocks. Torches. Put a torch in your offhand. Click. You got it. You can still have a sword, a pick, something else in your regular hand. It's amazing. You fight. You put down a torch. I love it. Over here on the Bedrock edition of the game, you can't just put anything you want in your offhand, and torches is not one of those specific things. You can put a few things over in your offhand. Where are they? You can put a shield in your offhand. Okay, put it over there. There it goes. There it is, the shield. I can put a shield in my offhand. And by the way, it works differently, which is totally annoying. That you have to shift to crouch to use your shield. You can't just right click with that. That's super duper annoying. You can put a map. So if we open up a map here, I got a map right here. I can put this into my offhand. Okay, that's kind of nice. And then the final thing is arrows. So if I have like a specific type of arrow that I want to use for my bow, if I want to use my slowness arrows or whatever, my enchanted arrows, what are these called? Spectral arrows, that sort of thing. Actually, are there spectral arrows in? There's no spectral arrows. There's no spectral arrows in this game. Is that right? Spectral, spectral. Nope, no spectral arrows. Fire aspect. Nope. Okay. Well, there we go. So that's another thing. So you don't get those are the 3 things you can carry in your offhand in Bedrock Edition of the game, which drives me crazy. What is my arrow? Why is my bow rocking? It's doing this. Why is my bow doing that? Can you stop doing that, bow? Bow, you okay? You okay, bro? Bow? Okay, whatever. Also, the most annoying thing is I like hold down shift to bring things up. And if it's a thing that can go into your offhand, it will. That has happened multiple times while I'm recording other videos, is I'm just like shift clicking everything out of there and it immediately goes to your offhand. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Okay, another thing that is missing is a minecart with a furnace inside of it. In the Java edition, you can use this as like a little engine to push your minecarts along. Does not exist at all in the Bedrock edition of the game. Another thing that's missing that blows my mind, because this is like seems like such a integral part of Minecraft. So when you're creating a new world, you cannot have the game mode of hardcore. That is not a thing. You have survival, creative, and that is it. And difficult, and I could even see it being a difficulty, like difficulty hard and then hardcore difficulty. So I could see that as, you know, a drop down under survival. But no, that's not a thing. Now you can pull that off with some add-ons, like with you know, packs, behavior packs, and that sort of stuff to have a hardcore world. But that's not a normal default option, or that's not an option that you can just choose. And finally, I'm almost done with my ranting here, and this one is something that I miss a lot because I just love it so much on the Java edition of the game. This is like, I don't know, like it's added so much funness to my you know, playing games on the Java edition that I was just shocked, whoops, that it wasn't available here on the Bedrock edition. And that is, oh my gosh, I keep grabbing these arrows. If you have arrows and they hit the player, they don't get stuck in the player model. So like, I look like I haven't been hit with arrows at all. If I'm over here on the Java edition, oh, there it is. I was like, wait, it didn't work on me either. You can see that arrow in my foot? That is like the best feature of Minecraft, is you have a little arrow stuck in you. And that like doesn't happen on Bedrock edition. And that's so sad, because it's like the funniest feature. You're walking around with an arrow stuck in you, and your friends are like, oh my god, you got an arrow stuck on you. That is like my favorite feature ever. So I wish that would come to the Bedrock version of the game. And there you have it, my exhaustive list of things that I wish were in the Bedrock version of the game, and that might actually get me to switch from the Java edition to the Bedrock edition. Those things would do it. I feel like if I had every one of those features, there's a chance that I would switch over to Bedrock. Until then, I'm going to be recording a lot on Java edition. Do you agree with me? Is there something that I missed? Is there something that I haven't covered that you guys feel like, I mean, maybe capes. I mean, I got a lot of capes on the Java edition. I got the pan cape. That's the only one I have on the Bedrock edition of the game. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like. I really want to know your thoughts in the comments down below, so please sound off there. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos here on OMG Craft, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!